Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping, girl, to see justice before all face to Blake. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, first, don't know why this piece of hair sticking out like that there. And then second, the light. Look at the light, y'all. It is so dark and dim. Uh, I don't even know how to get no more light too. The light source, like there's literally no other light source in this. See? Okay, wait. Maybe if we take this. Oh, I don't want to break it. Dang it. I thought maybe it would tilt up. Like, why they got it dark like this in here? Really, I'm trying to record a live, but the lighting is like not that bright in this hotel. That's not gonna work. Okay, so I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. One more light source over here. Maybe this one's bright. It's a dingy bright. But I don't know. It would seem like you would have a much brighter light source in the kitchen. Anyways, let's see. Maybe if I get right up under the... Oh, but then that light is flashing. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm going to cut that one off because that got a glare. And then just leave that one on as if it's lightening anything up. And then I'll try to sit directly up under the light source. But it's still dark. Wait, was it more light when I was sitting in this chair? Y'all, I'm sorry. Trying to get it together. Yeah, I think it's more light source right here. Okay, so anyways, guys, I told y'all I had some notes. Look at my notes. 2 long pages of them. And I know y'all see my chicken scratch handwriting. Back and forth. But anyways, it's good. Y'all might can't read this ish. But I'm finna read it to you. Okay, so anyways, today I'm gonna read my notes. So what I had was when you are life tired. And on my way to work, I listened to this video by Wisdom Speaks Life on YouTube. And I love her videos, girl, because she is actually real. Like real. I love that. I love the not putting a filter on stuff. I love the not being always so politically correct with stuff and the dampening down of things, like real, raw feelings. Her videos deals with that. Okay, so as I watched that video, I am going to link that in the description box. But I was inspired to, oh, I wonder, can I set it up here? Because this is going to be hard to hold this whole time. Can I sit my camera? Oh, no, I can't because it's on the charger. Okay, sorry, guys. Thought I could have set my phone up there on that thing, but I can't because it's charging. It's connected to my charger. I never have my devices up and ready to go. Okay. And it's so dim in here that I can barely read my handwriting, but y'all please bear with me. I am legally blind. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before it all fades to black. Anyways, okay. So when you are life tired, this is inspired by listening to Wisdom Speaks on YouTube. I felt this was a super good topic because this is something I think most pretend they don't go through, when in actuality, we all do. And God bless you if you never have. Like my pastor growing up used to say, just keep living. I think the denial of how difficult life can be at times makes it much harder for one currently going through to resonate with others' pristine testimonies. A flawless recovery from every situation without worry, doubt, discouragement, frustration, overwhelmingness, stress, and the need to reach out to others is like watching a fairy tale from beginning to end and without any instance of unease. It's perfection, if you will, somewhat somewhat like an Instagrammable life, as if life could be like that, right? For real. It creates this illusion to the one seeking solace from their story, from the person, like as if you were telling me your testimony and I'm seeking solace from your testimony. Okay, seeking solace from their story of going through that. If they are not unable to go through as gracefully as the next, it is more so their own inability to be non-penetrative, penetrate. Guys, can't say that word. How did I say it earlier in my mind, girl? Penetrable. Penetrate. Y'all know penetrate, to penetrate. Able. That's what I'm trying to say. Penetrable. By life. This can be quite discouraging rather than encouraging, like it was intended. So, in essence, I think the telling of this pristine testimony, in most cases, do leave the person going through more confused and alone and like no one understands. This is like, okay, so let me give you a quick example. What I mean by this. When you going through and people just be like, oh, all you got to do is pray, child, and let it go. And just, who give it over to God and then he'll fix it. And now, y'all, I'm not making no light of God fixing situations, because he will do it. Won't he do it? Yes, he will, girl. But what I'm saying is, when people are going through, they need a little bit more substance. They need to hear a little bit more than just God will fix it. Because most times we already kind of know that in the back of our minds, but it's just when you're in the fire, for real. It's like when you do those test runs of if in case something happens. And then when the case is something happens, I'm sure you're not going to be as calm, collect, or anything like you would be if, you know what I'm saying? So that is what I mean. Like, it's almost dismissive when you don't understand that some people just can't snap it together like that, right? Okay, so where's my spot? I think the telling of the pristine testimony in most cases do leave the person going through more confused and alone, I'm sorry. Like no one understands than before hearing their testimony. For me personally, it makes me feel like I'm just not as strong as the others that went through. It takes my focus off and discounts my own resilience in the storm, in my storm. It's like it makes their testimony less pliable when they do this. Like they don't give you the dirty part of the going through process. They just, oh, I overcame and this and that. And girl, It's like it makes their testimony less pliable, less usable, and applicable to your own situation. Let's use one of my longest lasting storms. My husband being wrongfully convicted, snatched out of my daughter and my life. Right at the foundational times, right? At the time in my family's life, in the beginning of our family, I'm just being 100. That it's not easy at all, especially when family is what I long for just about my entire life. I was looking for love, acceptance, genuine relationships, to be loved just for being me. No mask needed. No conditions needed to be met to receive this love. My best friend, my soulmate, that one in a million, a love like I have never experienced before. And then, boom, the rug is pulled from under me. Everything that looked like it was going to finally work out for me was flipped to be the direct opposite of my dream life. It turned into a nightmare when we were really young, too. And to tell me to just get over it, move on, he shouldn't have did what he did, all without listening to the details of my story. It leads to a very isolated feeling like it's just me. And then again, so what's wrong with me? Even if I didn't even if I didn't verbalize these emotions, and eventually I stopped because I didn't feel the need. No one understood me anyway. And all this is my fault because I can't just bounce back like others did. I began to suffer and just go through alone. Now I am already a step ahead of you. Just pray. Take it to the Lord and leave it there. That's exactly what I did. Well, attempted to. I had been praying since day one, and the struggle didn't turn around or get any easier. In fact, it seemed to compound with other life issues that arose, such as set-in depression, fatigue, and exhaustion. I couldn't even attempt to explain. Thoughts that things would never change, discouragement. And because I never seen the shift or the coming out of the storm, I grew to believe this is just how life is. I keep losing my spot. My handwriting is so sloppy. It is so dim and dark in here, and I hadn't soaked my contact in 2 days. So I can't find my solution. So that's... Okay, so where am I? I'm so sorry, guys. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, I never seen the shift or coming out of the storm. I grew to believe this is just how life is. I can't expect too much more. This is the best life gets. And because I know my life wasn't the absolute worst, it can only get worse. So it's not, my life ain't the best, but it ain't the worst. And you know how they say it can always get worse, but then it's like, dang, all I keep getting is worse. So you kind of know that you're at the pinnacle, right? Okay, at that time frame, that's what I was thinking. This is the best life gets because I know my life wasn't absolutely worse. It can always get worse, and that usually did. Health issues set in that became a constant obstacle that not only hindered my economic growth and ability to provide and take care of my severed family, or even put my family back together due to it being God, imperative that I increase my wages to even afford justice. Justice is not at all free or even affordable. But no matter how I thought through, I'm sorry, how I fought through, I never seemed to break through and exit my storm. I knew I was strong. I knew I had, with God, had the ability to withstand those tough storms. My mother's death was not just death, it was tragic. And I experienced injustice on that side with my family being dragged through the mud and the wrongful outing of my mother with the hospital. Fighting with the hospital about the wrongful outing of my mother. Compounded with that was the sudden shock that I wasn't going to receive a dime for my permanent injuries, my slip and fall, due to the negligence of the company I worked for. And on top of being injured by me, the preceding, sorry guys, I can't read this. And on top of being injured by me, I'm sorry, that's supposed to say they. I might have to go back and edit this one. Girl, I got too many mistakes. And I try to have grace with myself and know that I'm not so, I try to have everything as good as I can, but I usually leave some mistakes in, but I'm doing too many mistakes, girl. I know I'm not perfect, but you want to put. Okay, injured by me, they proceeded to try to fire me. And that job I worked at for 11 years. Early 30s, I'm starting completely back over at the bottom as I watched so many others rise above in careers and so many wives welcoming home their husbands, innocent or guilty. All of them. I don't watch so many homecomings, girl. So many times posting on social media, oh, my man's home. Which, girl, I'm happy for you, but God, dog, is it ever coming for us? Or is it when Jesus comes back? Like, girl, like when? But I've watched so many prison wives, they husbands, guilty, not guilty, it don't matter. Half of them came home already, right? And I'm still there. Okay. Seemed like everyone around me achieved every goal they set out to. And it took only a fragment of their time and struggle that it took me. I felt like I was given a front row seat to watch everyone around me prosper but me, including those that I helped diligently. And they never turned back to pull me up. If anything, many of them sneered at me and agreed with the notion that I'm not rising above because I'm just not trying hard enough. Oh, almost forgot the struggle that goes with not only managing my own disabilities, legally blind, losing my sight, soon needing a cornea transplant, carpal tunnel, nerve damage, arthritis, herniated disc, TMJ, sciatica, etc., 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 girl. That means constant pain. But also being caregiver to a sister that is disabled due to grand mal seizures. And at one time, two sisters. My eldest sister, rest in peace, Disabled, two disabled sisters. My older sister had MS. And at one time, I was both of them. I was, oh my gosh, there's this one. I need to have that story time. Oh my gosh, I miss my sister. But she was so freaking happy to get out. And I remember her saying, "Oh, I'm with my sisters." And this was when her MS, she little by little lost the motion of her body and her legs. I think at first, I'm trying to find out when this was. Yeah, she was able to kind of pull her wheelchair up to the stove, cook, and she could just stand there, but she couldn't stand long. And this was the time where she was just losing the movement in her legs. Her arms started, they were really weak. And I remember me and my sister, my other sister, lifting her up into, I had a minivan at the time, and just pulling the doors, the sliding door open. We lift her together, put her in the minivan, and we went to Arby's. She loved Arby's with the little Arby's sauce because we're from Chicago, and the Arby's, they have this roast beef sandwich that reminds you of an Italian beef. Now this is before we had Portillo's here in Orlando, so we would love to go get Arby's because it's close to that, you know. And I remember we sat there together, me, my sister Kristen, and my sister Shara. And Shara was just so happy. She's like, "I'm with my sisters." So at one time I was caregiving to both sisters that had disabilities, and I myself had my disabilities, but my disabilities, though they are a struggle, were never the struggle that I've seen my sisters go through. So by me being the strongest, the strongest has to, you know, rise up and, you know, help the other siblings. I push my own shortcomings to the side to try to help my sister. And one of the biggest plights of mine is not truly being able to live in my purpose. I'm an artist. That's all I've ever been, and that's all I'll ever be. But the constant not being able to fulfill my life's purpose due to me being pulled in so many ways with very little support. Ooh. And a ultra small support system. I can count them on my hand. And it don't even take up all the fingers on my hand of the support system that I actually have in my corner, girl. It don't. Most of the people in my life were one-way relationships, never having that safe place to vent. Life had been lifing on overtime. And I got life be life. I got that from To a Woman's Heart. She's on TikTok. She's also on YouTube. I can put her in the description box here. I love her, girl. I don't think she'd be on YouTube that often, but every week I cannot wait to get to her lives, girl. She has it on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday she goes live. I think she works in the medical field and she works some long hours. So those are her days off. So she does her live. She is so inspired. I love her, love her, love her. And just as the lady that inspired this, that's Wisdom Speaks Life, just like her video that inspired this video, she doesn't do that makeover version of a testimony. Like, she literally is real, and I love that. That's all I can relate to is real, like for real, real. Okay. Life had been life, and that's what she always says to a woman hard. Life be life. Okay, on overtime. And with the amount of time that passed without seeing an end to the struggle, I began to internalize the feeling that my best days are far behind me. So if I ever wanted to feel happiness again, I had to be happy with this within this constant survival mode. And though sometimes it would feel like my smile was a fake plastered on smile to hide the fact that I wasn't able to just gracefully overcome like so many others. Like when they tell you they testimony and they was like, and I just held on and I just knew it was gonna all be okay. Now, I'm not trying to make fun of the situation, but it's like that's how they when they someone tells you their testimony, 9 times out of 10 that's how it's going to be. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, but I don't know where that just hold on comes from. I'm trying to hold on, but my grip is getting weak, right? So I don't know. You may be able to understand what I'm saying, maybe you don't, I don't know, but I'm not trying to poke fun. What I'm just saying is, if you're more transparent, sometimes it's easier for people to relate. Girl, yes, I struggle. Yes, girl, I break down in tears, girl. I mean, sometimes I cry so much that I can't even see. Like, already legally blind, but I can't even see because of the tears. Like, so I'm fully blind, girl, by the tears. Or just be real. Like, if you are going through a situation like me, don't just tell me, I knew he was coming home. I just knew it was a matter of time. Girl, if you've been through something like, you don't just know that. You hope, you pray, you feel it, but nothing is lining up with that. Like, that's the struggle I really want to hear, right? Because that's what I can relate to. Okay, it's plastered on to hide the fact that I wasn't able to just gracefully overcome like so many others so easily did. I was able to find some moments of joy. All that is what led up to my breakthrough. All that is what led up to my breakthrough season. But it comes decades after first entering my storm. So I do know I'm in my breakthrough season. But if you look at the time frame from when this storm started, 2001, and breakthrough coming 2023, almost 24. So now your testimony of, I just held on, and does that hit me the same way as when you're being completely transparent? When you're telling me some nights you couldn't even sleep, girl. You didn't even know what you was gonna do. Sometimes it didn't feel like you heard the Lord's voice. Sometimes you didn't know if the Lord heard your prayers. Like the real, not the dressed up version. But I'm going to get more into that breakthrough in another video. I might go back and edit this, so it might be somewhat cleaner and smoother. But if not, thank you for rolling with your girl Cadillac and dealing with me right within this. I got one more set of notes. Girl, use my time wisely. But that's a whole different topic, so I'm going to stop this video and then I'm going to do that one. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. It's your girl Cadillac. Thank you guys.